You did not overestimate Caitlin Clark's talent. You underestimated the talent of
You won't believe what just happened on ESPN. Elle Duncan lost it when someone mentioned Caitlin Clark as an MVP candidate. But here's the thing, Clark's stats are off the charts. She's leading the league in points and assists combined and has 2 triple-doubles as a rookie. Is Duncan's reaction fair, or is there more to this story? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Now, you might think you know Caitlin Clark's game, but hold up, there's more to this rookie story than meets the eye. What if the numbers we're seeing are just the tip of the iceberg? Let's break it down. Since the break, Clark's been putting up some serious stats.
We talked about sort of Caitlin Clark and the idea that people are already, either making excuses for her.
We're talking 24 points, 9 assists, and 5.8 rebounds per game. But it's not just about the numbers, it's how she's getting them. Clark's shooting has gone through the roof. She's hitting 40.7% from beyond the arc and a whopping 62.2% from inside. That's not just good, that's elite level efficiency. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark isn't just scoring, she's making everyone around her better. All 4 of her consistent starters are averaging double digits. That's not a coincidence, folks. That's the Caitlin Clark effect. Remember last season, the Indiana Fever were struggling, finishing with a 13-27 record. Fast forward to now, and they're sitting pretty at 18-16. What changed? One word, Clark. You see, Clark's not just a rookie sensation. She's redefining what it means to be valuable in the WNBA. She's not just putting up numbers, she's elevating her entire team. And that's where things get complicated. The MVP debate isn't just about individual stats anymore. It's about impact. And Clark's impact? It's sending shockwaves through the league. Think about it. Clark's leading the league in combined points and assists. She's already notched 2 triple-doubles as a rookie. That's not just impressive, that's historic. But here's the real kicker. Clark's game is changing the way we think about basketball. She's not just a scorer or a playmaker, she's both. And she's doing it with a style that's all her own.
Soften the blow for her or make it more comfortable for her because she's going to help them get more money and she's the reason they're getting charters and blah, blah, blah.
Elle Duncan's reaction might be just the tip of the iceberg. There's a hidden factor in this MVP race that's shaking up the entire league. And it's not just about Clark, it's about redefining what valuable really means in the WNBA. You might be wondering why this MVP debate is causing such a stir. Well, it's not just about who's putting up the best numbers. It's about a clash between 2 different ideas of what makes a player truly valuable. Let's talk about A'Sia Wilson for a second. She's the reigning MVP, right? But here's the thing. Her team, the Las Vegas Aces, aren't doing so hot. They've lost twice as many games as they did in their championship winning season. That's got people scratching their heads. Now, flip the script to Caitlin Clark. Her team, the Indiana Fever, they're on fire. And a lot of that heat is coming from Clark herself. But it's not just about her personal stats. It's about how she's lifting her entire team. This is where things get interesting. We're seeing a real-time debate unfold about what most valuable player really means. Is it about being the best individual player, or is it about who brings the most value to their team? One expert put it like this: when you take a look at a most valuable player, it depends on what the value is. A'Sia Wilson is the most valuable player because she fills up a box score and does everything. Caitlin Clark does everything, not just for herself, but for everybody else on the roster. That's the crux of this whole debate. Wilson's putting up incredible individual numbers, no doubt. But Clark, she's transforming her entire team. And that's got people questioning the very definition of MVP. Think about it. Clark's not just scoring, she's creating opportunities for her teammates.
And I was so glad we had this conversation before that game because while, yes, she still had another 8 turnovers and she leads history, she's made history for the most turnovers. You're going to have to get used to incremental things getting better for Caitlin, and she said it herself. I'm feeling more comfortable. I'm feeling more like myself.
All 4 of her consistent starters are averaging double digits. That's not just good teamwork, that's next level impact. And let's not forget, Clark's doing all this as a rookie. She's averaging 24 points, 9 assists, and 5.8 rebounds per game over the last 6 games. Those aren't just rookie numbers, those are MVP caliber stats. But here's where it gets really interesting. The MVP race isn't just about numbers, it's about impact. And Clark's impact? It's sending shockwaves through the league. She's not just playing well, she's changing how the game is played. This debate is forcing us to ask some tough questions. Should the MVP go to the player with the best individual stats? Or should it go to the player who elevates their entire team? It's not an easy question to answer, and that's why this debate is heating up. And let's be real, this conversation isn't just about Clark and Wilson. It's about the future of the WNBA. It's about how we value players and what we expect from our stars.
One person that can transform the entire lot of a team. That's not how it works. And meanwhile, we spend no time saying, oh, well, maybe he's a bust. Maybe they overhyped Victor Wembanyama. No, he's just playing on the Spurs.
Are we looking for individual brilliance, or are we looking for players who can transform their teams? Hold on, because this MVP race just took an unexpected turn. Elle Duncan's outburst over Caitlin Clark wasn't just about basketball. It exposed a hidden issue plaguing sports media. Why did a simple suggestion spark such an intense reaction? The answer might make you question everything you hear from sports commentators. Elle Duncan didn't just disagree with the idea of Caitlin Clark as an MVP candidate. She acted like it was the most ridiculous thing she'd ever heard. But why? What could make a professional analyst lose her cool like that on live TV? Here's the thing, Duncan's reaction wasn't just about Clark or the MVP race. It revealed something way bigger, a potential bias that's lurking beneath the surface of sports commentary, and that's a problem for every fan out there. You might be wondering why this matters. Well, when personal bias creeps into sports analysis, we all lose out. It's not just about being fair, it's about being honest with the fans. We trust these commentators to give us the real scoop, not just their personal opinions dressed up as facts. Think about it. When you're watching a game or checking out highlights, you want to hear the truth, right? You want to know what's really going on, not just what someone feels based on their personal preferences. That's where objectivity comes in. Objectivity in sports analysis isn't just some fancy word. It's the backbone of trustworthy commentary. Without it, we're just listening to a bunch of hot takes and personal opinions. And let's be real, that's not why we tune in. But here's where it gets really interesting. Duncan's reaction highlighted a bigger issue in sports media, the need for fact-based opinions. It's not enough to just say what you think. You've got to back it up with real data, real stats, real analysis. When commentators let their personal feelings cloud their judgment, it's not just unfair to the players they're talking about, it's unfair to us, the fans. We're counting on these experts to give us insights we can't get on our own. If they're just spouting off based on their own biases, what's the point? One expert put it like this: it's an affront to her for someone to even bring up the possibility that Caitlin Clark might be the MVP instead of A'ja Wilson. That's not analysis, that's emotion talking, and it's got no place in professional sports commentary. This isn't just about Elle Duncan or Caitlin Clark anymore. It's about the integrity of sports commentary, and that affects every single fan out there. When we can't trust the people we're turning to for expert opinions, where does that leave us? The real kicker is that this kind of bias doesn't just affect how we see individual players. It shapes our entire understanding of the sport. If commentators are dismissing certain players or ideas out of hand, we might be missing out on some incredible stories and performances. So what's the solution? It's simple, but it's not easy. We need sports commentators to check their biases at the door. We need them to base their opinions on facts, not feelings. We need them to be open to new ideas and possibilities, even if they challenge their preconceptions. This whole situation is a wake-up call for sports media. It's time to raise the bar on sports commentary. We deserve analysis that's based on real insights, not knee-jerk reactions. We deserve commentators who are willing to look at the facts, even when they don't align with their personal views. The next time you're watching a sports show or listening to a podcast, pay attention. Are you hearing facts and analysis, or just opinions? Are the commentators backing up their claims with real data, or just spouting off? It's up to us, the fans, to demand better.